But this, when we were just leaving school, well, we were still at school, I think, the sea walls weren't like they are now. They were raggedy, taggedy, broken down here, there and everywhere. And on a Saturday morning, three of us used to meet down in the white sheds and walk the walls, three of us. One on the bottom of the wall, one up the slope of the wall, and one on the top with catapults. So anything sitting in there got catapulted. And I was with the two other mates. And I was on the top, which wasn't a good position. You wanted to be on the slope or you wanted to be at the bottom. Bottom was best because you could shoot the other bank as well. You saw a rabbit sitting there in a form, you could knock it over. But I was on the top. And we're going along gently, moving stuff, whatever's in the grass. A rabbit hop along and sit and look at you sometimes and get a shot at it. And all of a sudden I got a flapping around me. And out into high water, I happened to be high water at the time on the outside of the wall. A cock widgeon flaps down into the water, opposite the wing one lost from flight. He stood there and he stood on the water and flapped his old feathers and preened himself all ready for it going, but that was too late, mate. A stone hitting the back head, and that was the first wildfowl I ever killed when I was a kid at school. That was a cock widgeon. That was the first one I ever had. You've got to be with me, and you've got to imagine it deadly quiet, except for birds, silent birds calling on things.
The old red-shanks, don't you?
They're here, the red-shanks piping away. And this particular day, I'd gone into the back of Mark's house, early morning, low water. And we're lying there in the punt, waiting for the top of one I told you the other day. And I'd stay there quiet. I'd set myself up to go into this creek straight. I had the sun behind me. I had the wind behind. What breeze there was behind me. And I'm waiting for the tide to take me in the creek slowly. And I lay there, hand over the side of the boat, holding her still, keeping her square. Didn't know there was any birds in there. You approached it as if there was, but I didn't know if there was. And you'd move perhaps 2 inches, because you're only in about 1.5 inches of water, just going over slipping over the mud. We go a bit closer, quiet, everything's all quiet. And we gradually trudged down. I could see at the far bottom end of the creek, the mud slid down from the saltings, and there was a group of teal sitting on the end. Perfect, absolutely perfect. I thought, a piece of cake. So we gently go quietly. We're getting closer to it. And you're not making a sound, you don't make a ripple or anything. You keep that boat dead straight, true to those birds. Go straight in there, quietly. Don't make a sound, you go in, don't make a sound. You've got to get your handgun ready at the same time. Just keeping the boat steady, you've got to get your handgun ready for a shot. And we get nearly within shot of the birds. And I thought, well, I've got the gun's all right, everything's all right. And we'll go off a minute. Birds, when you frighten any birds on the creek, they're up and away, straight up, woof, gone. Well, back down the punt, quiet, boat steady, absolutely right. I want to go about 10, 15 yards, and I'll have them the ropes. And all of a sudden, they were gone. They went out like a fan across the top of the water, not up, but fanned out. And I thought, what the hell went wrong there? What the hell have they done? And they laid there. I've got the gun ready to fire with the handgun. I just tried to put it in your shoulder and shoot sort of thing. And I looked up above where the teal was sitting, and there's Reynard looking at me, sitting on the top. So I gave him one full in the face, and he disappeared. Up the gun, put another shot in it, still lying still on the belly, put another cartridge and laid there, waited a minute or two because birds start to fly about a bit, and might be a shot. And I looked, and he's sitting up there looking at me again. So I thought, no, you don't, mate. So I gave him the other barrel, boom, then he went again. And I laid there, and still waiting. And then I thought, oh, well, nothing's going to happen here. Got up, got out the punt, clammed up onto the Sultan. There was 2 foxes laid there. 2 of them. That was why the birds didn't jump straight up. If they'd have jumped straight up, they'd have jumped into the foxes. But they went sideways. I hadn't worked that out. But it was lovely. It was beautiful. I got 2 dead foxes and just, from the whole.
Couldn't eat them, mate.
I couldn't eat them, so I left them where they were. They were a competition to me.